When Trish finishes her intro, we shall start it up. I have some plans for this one. Deep-rooted plans. Alright. Tommy Lazzuto says hello.
Let's have everyone introduce themselves.
Let's start with me, the DM. Hello, I'm every single NPC, every single store owner, every single enemy. How do you do today, Kyon?
I'm ready.
Let's skip her. Let's skip her for a second. Thorin.
Hello, I'm Stubby Spiky Boy with a death wish.
Good. Now Vaseem.
Hello, I am Big Dragon Man.
And Trish.
That's it.
Hello, my name is Trishana. I am a vampire. I wear fancy dresses and I have a bit of an attitude.
And now,
A
are
bit?
you good, Kyon?
Yeah, you guys started before I was ready.
I thought you said it wouldn't take so long to finish your bag of chips.
Yeah, that doesn't mean start straight away.
Okay, fine. Okay, now you
I also want to say
am
something. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. My bad. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Kyon, go.
Hi, I'm Kion. I'm a rabbit folk who likes to cause good chaos.
Now Trish.
Also to my viewers, we have D&D dice, so I will be showing you everything that I roll. But I'm going to be still rolling using Discord, but I'm just going to physically show you what that is because I have pretty dice now.
Yeah.
Ah! They're falling apart!
Hold on. I just need to get the music up. Let me see one more thing.
Is Cedar going to be joining us today, or...?
He has work today.
Okay.
Library or cozy library?
Cozy library.
Got it. Let me just put that in the rhythm button. A brief recap. During our last adventure, Trish and the others played in the snow as a sudden blizzard came in and swept through the land. This was unexpected to almost all parties, but they made the most of it, with Kyon having as much fun in the foot-high snow with children playing snowballs and building snowmen, adults dancing and drinking mead and having tons of fun. Although afterwards, the fun had to end. They stole from a mob boss and faked an attack to protect themselves from a certain hermit of rats. Now, with a forged letter and a plan to save some orphans, everyone is resting except for Trishana, whose her undead blood cannot let her rest. You are sitting by the fire while the others are taking a sleep. They have been sleeping for a long time due to the combination of the cold and the exhausting day they've had. You hear some walking down of the steps. Trish.
Trish is sitting by the fire. I'm sitting by the fire, correct?
You're sitting by the fire, warming yourself up as much as your undead body can heat.
Trish sits by the fire, playing with a small crystal flowered barrette in her hands, and then looks back behind her. Hello.
You see Roger walking slowly down with two cups, both foaming with purple fog. As he looks down and says, Oh, hello there. Lillian's asleep upstairs, and, well, he finally gets down to the bottom of the steps after walking extraordinarily carefully and says, I thought you could use some company. You looked like you had a long day yesterday. He sets down the 2 cups behind you and intently listens.
Shoshana sighs. Sometimes now, I just don't know who I am anymore.
You watch as he carefully picks up the scalding hot cup and hands one to you and says, let's soothe our nerves with a little levity in our lives, huh?
Trish looks at the teeth. This isn't Fey magic, correct?
It is, but I promise your hair will be intact this time.
Trish sighs and takes a sip.
Roll a
Alright,
D100 as he does the same. Roll it for your viewers first and tell me what you get.
Okay. I roll it for my viewers. That is the D100, so...
I got the
The
magic
D10
table.
and the D100, remember?
Yes, I remember.
Alright, for the 41, you turn into a potted plant until the start of your next turn.
You watch as...
So we...
Yeah, you roll the 2 dice.
Okay. I got a 99.
You are surrounded by
sweet.
faint ethereal music as you actually feel pleasantly at peace. As you look back to Roderick, he is now a potted plant, a fern, to be exact.
Shoshana giggles. What in the world? Oh, at least the music is pleasant.
You listen as the music fades out after the course of a minute, and with a big old poof, Roderick turns back into a person, a little bit more wide-eyed as he says, "Next time, I guess I deserve that." After he takes a deep breath and says, "How was yours?"
It's delicious. It's good, thank you.
So, what's on your mind?
I don't feel right. I'm feeling untouched with myself.
How so?
I feel bad to the others, that they have to be around such a monster like myself. I try to contain my abilities. I try to contain the lust and the anger and the wrath that I have. But I can't contain it.
You watch as his mouth moves for a second and says, I believe there is a way to help you out.
The only thing that honestly helps right now is drinking blood. That's the only way to stop it. That's why I always carry these. She pulls out several vials of blood and holds them in her hands.
As you show him, his eyes kind of like quickly dart from the vials to you and says, there is a way, but there is only one person I know who can do this. The teacher of abjuration at the college. He know there's a spell. It can help you out, I believe. Although
Trish shakes her head. No, I like to keep this as one of my sins. As she says, tears begin to well up behind her eyes. This is a punishment, and that's why I keep the way I am.
His mouth moves again, but this time keeps silent as he says, I do hope that one day you can forgive yourself. As he silently sits there by the fire, listening to it roar.
Trish wipes away tears that begin to stream down her cheeks. I don't think I will be able to forgive myself.
If I may be so bold, why do you believe you can't?
It's a long story, but due to my own selfishness, I lost someone that I really cared about. I've had good intentions behind it, but I shouldn't have been bold and selfish.
His eyes, you see his eyes. His eyes kind of go wide and then go back down, and he says, "You know the meaning of my name."
Shoshana looks at him. No, I don't. Care to tell me?
Von means from. I'm from Kleist, a merchant family. I tried to learn transmutation to help them, as I remember reading of beautiful ways to make gold and bronze and raw materials that we could sell, but in that, I almost doomed them. One of my experiments failed and almost turned my entire family to stone. Luckily, it was only the house, but if any of my family was in there, I would have never forgiven myself.
Trish is... Oh, go ahead.
He puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "Whatever guilt holds you down, I sincerely hope that..." He takes another deep breath and says, and then looks towards the people sleeping. The big old dragonborn wearing tattered and ripped clothing, along with the dwarf who's wearing what is remnants of a shirt and pants, barely even holding together at the seams. And the beautifully dressed bunny folk, sleeping soundly. It says, I believe they can help you."
Trish scoffs. They hate me.
They don't.
No matter what I try.
They don't understand you.
I wish that I could make them understand.
Time makes them understand. Don't try and force it upon them. Try to let them know. Let their curiosity find their way. And once you believe them to be trustworthy of it, you may tell them. But for now, give them... He takes another glance at them and says, "Give them respect, but don't give them kindness."
Trish nods and sighs. I just wish there was a way I could show them that I'm not a monster, and that I was once a good person. Tears begin to pour down from her eyes, as they turn puffy.
You
red.
You watch as he takes out from his little belt pouch a nice little what is it called, a napkin or something?
Handkerchief.
He hands you a handkerchief and says, "Show them through actions, not through words." Trust is a slow slope, but when you get up there, there's no better feeling. Go back to Lillian. Be sure to wake up your friends in the next hour. I believe they will need it. It'll be early morning, and I believe that the nuns that you'll need to whisk away their children from will be taking duties.
Trish nods and looks at the fire and begins to make a plot, looking a bit determined, and then looks back at the others and whispers, "I will show you that I'm a good person. I will."
You hear his heavy footsteps as he takes up his cup and leaves yours downstairs. As the hour passes, you each smell a beautiful breakfast as Trish wakes you up.
Hello, darlings. Hello, wake up. I've made food for all of us.
Food?
Yes! Vasim, food. Trish looks over at Keone. I've made sure to make sure that there was the meat and the non-meats were separated, because I couldn't remember if you were vegetarian or not.
I don't eat what I don't buy.
Oh.
Trish looks a bit sad and then says, "Well, completely fair." Then looks at Vasim. "Would you care to eat?"
Yes.
Well, come sit.
Count, Thorin, and Vasim follow Trish upstairs as you see Roderick and Lillian already sitting at the table, waiting patiently. As you see a whole little bowl full of what is basically salad, lettuce, chopped carrots, some bits of tomato, very basic, some nice little pork chops that have been freshly made, and a nice little few glazed sweet rolls, not red, except for one. As Roderick looks over and says, "Thank you for this. I'm glad that you made yourself at home in the kitchen."
Trishana, like, not pushes, but, like, you know when someone, like, goes, ha ha ha, and moves their hand, like, oh, don't worry about it?
Yes.
Yeah. Trishana goes like that, oh, don't worry about it. I was very familiar with the kitchen when I was younger.
I wish I was, but I'm glad I've been taking lessons from Ivan. Alchemy and cooking are very similar, if you believe it or not. As Lillian is just silently staring at the food with a hungry stare. Everyone takes their seats.
Keone actually excuses herself and heads back downstairs.
What does Keone do while the rest feast?
She digs through her bag and she pulls out like a small snack to nibble on, and then she's gonna look down at the note she was given. And if there's like a map of the town or something, she's gonna find where she needs to go.
I don't have a town map because that's overly complicated for my skills, but
yeah, I know. Just like if she found one in the house or something.
But you do have a simple map made of the town, where you see it's only a few blocks over from the market square.
She's just gonna scribble down a note and saying, "Went to go meet friend. Be back by lunch."
So you leave now?
Yes.
As you walk, the others watch as Keone leaves, and while she's walking, describe how you each have a very hearty breakfast.
Trishana would like to give everyone an equal portion, except for the Dragonborn, and she piles a bit more meat onto his plate. I imagine that you get hungry very quickly, and you need a lot to fill your stomach. So I made some extra sausage and bacon for you.
Yes. Vasim, how does Vasim feel about this?
Happy.
You each have a happy breakfast, as food is piled on, and everything tastes great. Roderick and Lillian silently eat and try to keep their manners as well as possible, given Vasim's ability to eat something whole. And Thorin, how does he eat? Thorin?
I'm thinking about it.
Trishana giggles as she sees the egg yolk dripping down Vasim's face and reaches over and wipes it away.
Yeah.
Would you like a napkin?
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
You watch it.
Trishana reaches out and places a napkin in front of him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thorin, have you thought about it?
Yeah.
What do you
Thorn
do?
just eat a simple meal of eggs and bacon. Nothing more.
Trishana looks at Thorin. Oh, I've completely forgot. Would you like some juice? I squeezed it myself.
Sure. That would be nice.
You drink.
Parched down.
The fruits here are very. It's very hard to find, but you did find some in the back of the cabinet. Some raspberries that you tried to make the best juice out of. It tastes well. So now, let us go back to Keone. Where do you go, Keone?
She is heading. I can't remember the name. Hold on, let me check my notes.
Is it Sergeant William Fran?
Yeah, she's going to head first.
You make your way towards the barracks, north of the market square, and you find it's a big old building. It's mostly made of wood and cobblestone, and you see guards going in and out on their patrols in the early morning.
She's just going to stop one and ask if he knows where Sergeant Fran is.
After stopping, he looks at you and says, may I ask before I give out this information, who am I speaking to?
My name is... You may call me Kearney.
Ah, secretive type.
It's good.
Oh, thank you for the follow, Mr. Fishvlogs. As he looks at you and says, he's on the second level of the barracks. Please don't cause him too much trouble. He is having a bit of a strange morning as of late.
You sound very muffled right now. I couldn't understand anything you just said.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me try that again. I see. He's on the second floor. He's having a strange morning right now, so please, don't jump on him with too much details.
No, of course not. I would never.
He nods.
Rabbit folk would.
He nods to you and goes back to the other two who are waiting in the wings.
She's gonna head towards where Sergeant Fran is.
You enter through the barracks where you see multiple guards wearing some simple leather armor to scale mail, as they look at you with a strange look but shake it off, polishing their weapons and getting ready for their patrols. As you walk up the steps and open this wooden door to an office of a Haggerty-looking human. You see,
Excuse me, are you Sergeant Fran?
as you ask that, you watch as he looks up. You see his light brown hair that is extraordinarily short in a buzz cut, or a medieval equivalent of a buzz cut. You see that he's...
They did buzz cuts.
What?
I think they did buzz cuts.
I think so too, but I don't really know for sure.
They
but
just called it something different.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have whatever the
They
reason
didn't
call
have.
it
They
buzz
didn't
cut.
have buzzers.
Yeah.
You hear the medieval town flurry as you see his giant bags over his eyes, or under his eyes. His eyes his eyes are of a greenish hue, and his face he seems to be a young man but stressed.
Is everything okay?
Now it is, yes. As he puts his hand over, it's like, and then kind of looks at you, and then stares at your bunny ears for a second and says, wait a second. Were you hired by Von Carrion?
Who?
The nobleman that hired you. This is outside again.
Oh.
That to take care of the thugs.
I wouldn't say hired, more... Well, I suppose we were hired, but I'm doing this more so I can get a recommendation from the college.
As you say that, his face kind of twists into an odd sense, like he just heard a bad joke. As he says, "That's a new line." He puts his hair back and says, "Yeah." He gets up. You now see his chain mail shirt and simple commoner clothes, and says, "I assume I have you to thank for this little chaos that has been started around town." As he takes out a little pipe and starts smoking, he says, "We had reports of in the garden there was one dead body and a scuffle, and all of a sudden everything's in chaos with what we believe are the beginnings of attacks. We found some bodies of ratlings in the sewer, some cause of distress from the meadery as a small fire broke out in the offices, luckily was only contained to the office. And he takes another big smoke. What I believe is a group in the outer ward that made a couple of friends and made a tavern man move by giving them practically a loan from the bank. I believe this could be your friends, as I did hear a report from one of my trusted ones, Jemison, I believe you know him as.
Well, I suppose the whole tavern probably moving is... I'll take sole responsibility for that.
That's more of a thank you. They were always a good friend of my family, so them moving to that middle layer where there's more protection is always fun. But the other two I'm more intrigued about.
I tried to prevent the dead bodies. Is anyone innocent being hurt from the chaos?
So far, no. In the sewers, we heard some people trying to go towards that wretched fight club get some injuries, though they still won't tell us where that damn thing is. He takes another. Other than that, all there is just some guards having to take a closer eye, checking out the more uncommon places where we usually couldn't go to. Hopefully this whole thing is contained there, but the guards are on high alert.
Well, what I came here to you about is semi-related to this chaos.
Mm-hmm.
She looks a little embarrassed that she's been a part of such a bad viewing kind of chaos. She doesn't like being in that kind of light by anyone. But sorry.
No, he's just making a grunting noise.
Well, you see, my issue is I'm aware that there's a gang posing as nuns at an orphanage, and I wanted to come here to see if I could bring those children to the guard run orphanage. I don't want them getting hurt.
He takes another blow off his pipe and says, If you are serious about this, if you believe children are in danger, then I would like for you to do a simple thing.
Of course.
Where do you believe they're located?
The nuns?
The endangered children.
Oh, at the orphanage.
Which one? There are multiple around the town.
Out of character, I forgot the name again.
Saints to Heavenly Orphanage.
That's it. I don't know why I thought it was something else. The Saints to Heavenly. I believe. I don't have confirmation, but
his eyes
I don't want to
twitch as he says, Of course it's them. He takes another big pipe and says, I always find it strange how every once in a while they just send wagons of children out of the city to go to one of their other sites, as they called it. I always found it a bit off-putting, but I guess I'm in trouble for this now.
There was a letter, and I think those children that were taken to other places are being made into slaves.
His eyes twitch again and he says, if you get the children out of there, I'll deal with the nuns. His hand goes into a firm grasp as he says that, and looks to you and says, just get them out of there safely. And
Absolutely.
And I will have a regiment of guards ready to surround the place once you give a simple signal. Do you know any magics?
Many!
Do you know prestidigitation?
Yes, I do.
He takes another big huff and says, there's a library nearby that place. Go to it and have the children go enter through the back. I'll have a small group of guards waiting in the back to keep them safe. On the front of it, I would like for you to put a symbol of the Bear Guard, which he points to a shield that's over the door where you entered, where you see the side profile of a grizzly bear, brown. With prestidigitation, I believe that you can make that as big as you want. Is that correct?
I think there's a size limit, but I can try my best.
Make it as big as you can, and once my men see it, we will rush the place and take as many as we can hostage.
I promise I will get them out as safely as I can.
He gives you a simple nod and says, I will start preparing the troops. You get you and your little gang out there.
She nods and smiles.
Mhm.
Thank you. I know people around here don't trust where I'm from, but we're not all evil.
He looks at you with a simple but understanding look and says, he watches he touches the top of his head, and you see decast from Disguised Self. His skin turns a bright blue, and long horns that jut up reveal themselves as you now notice that he's no longer a human, but a tiefling, as he says, I know that feeling all too well.
She'll just nod understanding.
You watch as he,
And if there's anything else I can do to help with the children, I promise I will, to the best of my ability, do so.
he nods as he casts Disguise Self again and goes back to his chair and just... You notice that as he's casting it with a little amulet he's wearing around his neck.
She smiles at him, points at it, and goes, keep that safe.
He holds it for a second and says, I will. As you notice, it says the same phrase you saw on Dagon's teeth. Remember what?
She looks slightly alarmed at that and makes a quick exit.
Okay. You immediately exit and I assume go back to Roderick's.
Yes.
As you enter and you see that they're finally finishing breakfast.
She's just got the most... She's deep in thought as she goes in, figuring out her plan. And as she finally goes in, she just snaps her finger and goes, I've got it!
Shauna looks a little bit shocked. God, what? You startled us.
You hear Roderick choke on a piece of lettuce as you do that. But
I thought she was meant to do the choking.
Lillian kind of looks confused for a second as trying to perform the Heimlich maneuver so he doesn't die.
Sorry! You heard that hesitation. I held it in for as long as I could.
Yep.
Sam produces an audible gasp. And then
What?
starts to laugh.
I'm good, not innocent. Wait, no, I'm innocent, not naive.
Krishna looks over at Roderick and mouths the words, Are you okay?
The lettuce finally coughed up and he finally chews his swallows and says, Yeah. Good
Krishna
one.
passes him some juice.
He drinks the juice fervently and says, That's enough excitement for one day. As he looks out and still sees the layer of snow is still outside and says,
We don't have to.
I might build a snowman with the kids.
Perfect! I have the best group of children for you to build a snowman with.
Okay, just let me rest him for a second. As he gets up and starts making his way towards the study.
She's just got the most... It's not devious as in the bad way, more like she's got a good plan and she's proud of herself for it.
Yes. Would you like to explain it to the group?
So she looks at everyone and goes, I'm going to go make a deal with the nuns.
Ashana steps up
You're what?
and says, "That's a good idea. I was also thinking maybe we could go save the orphans as well while you make a deal with the nuns. I would."
What do you think I'm making them for? I don't just make deals for nothing.
Trishana sighs. Yes, I know that. I'm just saying. I was thinking maybe we could introduce the orphans to their new home and welcome them and make them feel happy for once. I imagine they've gone through a deep deal of stress and, traumatized and stuff like that. I had a few plans, she says as she looks a bit anxious.
I already made a deal. The plan's kind of set.
How about this? Explain it in character what your plans are.
See, the plan is, I made a deal with the gods and taking the children to the library. The gods will take over the nunnery, and the children will be taken to the good orphanage.
Rashana claps her hands. Yes, I just would like to show the orphans a fun time when they go to their new home. They've gone through so much stress. Don't you think that they at least deserve to have a day of fun?
How else do you think I'm gonna get them to a library?
Rashana sighs and then goes back to her tea. Alright.
So, out of game. So, what's Keon's plan again?
She's gonna make a deal with the nuns to get the children out of there for the day, and then bada bing, bada boom, let the gods do their job.
And let's have a backup plan just in case. So maybe Trish can do that in character?
Well, not saying that your plan would fail because you are a clever woman, but I think maybe we should come up with a backup plan.
We throw hands.
I would like to show the kids that there's not such terrible people in the new orphanage that they're going to. Is a safe place.
But that's an after we've saved them kind of plan.
Yeah, that's an afterwards plan.
Yeah, I
So,
know.
so like a before plan, like for example, like sneaking in through the top and getting him out through the black door while a distraction
Okay.
happens, or something like that. Not like, afterwards we can like build snowmen or something like that. Like,
Okay. Well, if your plan fails, I suppose that I could be waiting on top of the orphanage and possibly sneak around back and get the children out. With a little bit of help from Basim or Thornton, just to get them out of there and not have to fight. Thornton, Basim is a large dragon. He could definitely carry a few children on the way out.
yes. Lillian is still downstairs and says, well, maybe he is a magic user, am I correct?
Yeah.
Maybe you could make like some sort of loud noise while she tries to get him out?
Can I do that?
What spells do you have again?
Yeah, I'm checking that right now.
Or maybe him and Thorn could pretend to have a fight in the front of the orphanage, and so the nuns are distracted?
It's a good idea, Roderick.
That's
That-
no Lillian. Roderick's
Oh,
upstairs.
Lillian. Sorry, I thought that was Roderick. That's a good idea, Lillian.
So
That's our
have you
backup
actually
plan,
seen the
then.
building so far?
No, I haven't. Keone, have you?
Kyung?
No.
Yeah. Well, maybe you should scout it out then finalize it. I'll make sure Roderick's okay in his study. He
Keone,
does-
would you like to come with me and we'll go investigate it?
Well, the whole party would go with you.
Okay, the whole party does.
So do you?
I mean, that's what I was saying,
Do you-
like the whole party, but I was
do you
saying
do you each make
Sure.
your way towards it, following Kyon since she has a little map and general knowledge of the area?
yes.
Kyon. Hello?
Yeah.
Hold on, you're a little
Mhm.
quiet for me. Let me turn you up a bit. Say something now.
Yeah.
There we go. You watch as you each follow Kyon through the snow, as people are playing, people are finally getting out and trying to go to shops and whatnot, although no stalls are out due to the snow. You make it your way through some alleyways, and you see hiding behind some sort of box and whatnot is a 2-story orphanage. You can see through the windows. The base level seems to be a little classroom, a play area, a kitchen, and whatnot through the windows. While the second area seems to be mostly beds. You see all the children are currently upstairs. Well, you see some nuns in the teachers in where they usually teach talking to each other. Did you hear
I
any of
think
that,
this-
Trish?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you hear that?
No, I hear what?
Okay, you guys finally make it. You see the orphanage. It's split into 2 floors. The first floor is what you could see through on the front of it is a classroom on the far left. Actually, you know what? Why am I explaining this to you? I have the owlbear set up. Everyone join the owlbear.
Where is it?
Where?
I'm posting the link right now.
Oh, there.
In general?
No,
Now in
combat
combat
and
and skill checks, it was the closest one.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm setting up the tokens.
For this, could we take a small break?
For your food?
Yeah, I got my food.
Okay. I'll be setting up my stuff then. Let's see here.
I'm still loading in for some reason.
It takes a second, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I loaded in and there's nothing there again.
Oh no. Why does that always happen?
Same for me.
Try and close the thing and then reset it. I don't know.
Okay.
Can you save what you've already done and then...
Let's see if this works. Might be taking a second due to my Wi-Fi or something else like that. I'll figure this out while y'all take a little break.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So, how's it going so far?
Good.
Oh, Alabama Rodeo's having some server problems, so let me try that again. Let's do this. Destroy it. Start it up.
So, since they're nuns, I'm assuming they're all women, correct?
Yep.
Nope.
Okay,
Oh.
so no.
I thought
So
it was
no
a
matter
deal
what-
like men dressed up as nuns.
No, it's an all women's thing.
Okay, so whatever we do, we cannot get into a fight.
Yeah, because if you start a fight and some people look in and see nuns being attacked by a whole group of people, then they're kind of going to be like, oh.
That's not what I was doing that.
Yeah, and I know you can't.
He
do
wants to
crossfire.
grope a nun.
No, I do not. If we did get into a fight, I guess I'd have to settle for shock and grasp to the face or something. I don't know.
I think you should just do that in general.
Yeah. Although specifying gets kind of funny.
There we go. So let's try this again. I'm posting it in general, as I finally got it. I think it's working now. Let's see, it hasn't said anything. God dang.
I just love the fact that all these video games and stuff have just like HP instead of like normal human logic, and to think that and because of that, in this, any normal human could probably survive a blast of Agonizar Scorcher, and it's just like, that's not how people work.
Well, technically, that's how people work. People can survive like forest fires and all that.
Yes, but I've got a feeling that would kill most.
Yeah, most likely than not. But we're talking about probability. That's why we have the 3d8. Most likely than not, they will die. But there is a slim chance, aka you rolling 3 1s, that they can survive. Or
Yeah.
yeah. So y'all see the owlbear now? I'll put it in general. Does it look good?
Oh wait, let me general and owlbear. Let's see.
Hello?
It's saying unable to find owner for asset.
What? How is that even possible?
Yeah.
Kyon, how about you?
Well, it's saying that I'm the only person in the party also.
Then, I don't know what's happening then. I don't know why this is happening to me. Maybe it's because I'm not using a password, or...
Well, you didn't use a password last time, did you?
Yeah. Putting a new link in now. Let's see if that works. If it doesn't work this time, I'll just stream it over Discord.
Darn owlbear.
Does it work now, Thorin?
Hold on, it's still processing.
Vaseem, how about you?
It's still got the little spinny red thing.
Let's wait a second then. Did you put in gamer?
No. Yep. No.
Did you put in all lowercase gamer?
It's loaded, but it's just showing the blank owlbear thing. I'm not
Did you
even
put in all
no.
lowercase gamer?
Yes. No. Wait. No.
So
It's
no one
not.
did. Okay, I'm asking this one last time. Did someone put in the password?
Nope.
Then you're clicking the wrong link.
It's not loading the password prompt.
What? Okay, I'll just stream it then. Here's the stream. What can y'all see?
Watch stream. Yeah, I can see now.
Okay, so you see the first level and second level and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Kyo and Trish, are you back?
I never left.
Okay. Are you good? I believe that's it.
I got the password prompt.
Got it. Let me switch over to Albert. So it just took a second?
Oh, hey, and now Keone's in also.
Cool.
Yeah, I see it now.
Back. I'm just eating, so I'm just gonna keep myself muted.
Okay.
Let me test this. Did you send out a new link for the Owlbird or something?
Mm-hmm.
This is frustrating.
Wait, where is it?
It's in general.
Okay. No, it's not working again.
Just look over my stream then.
Alright. Thank you. Just bring. I know. I'll come over and get it. Just give me a second, okay?
So we're back now.
Okay, dang thing.
What's the plan?
So which is the top and which is the bottom?
The one on top right here is. This is the first level. The one right here is the second level. The little bags are the children, and the eyes are the nun, except for the bearded one.
Oh,
I can't really. So wait, the top one is the top floor, and or the front, or the wait, what now?
The top one is the first floor. The bottom one is the second floor.
Mm.
alright, so is this like a stealth mission?
Yes.
Oh. Short, stubby man should have advantage.
Short, stubby
Well,
man doesn't
Wait,
have
where
your
are the
stuff.
kids?
On the
I'm
top
not
level.
seeing the kids.
On the top level,
Top
they're the little
level.
bags.
Oh, I see them now. They just kind of blended in.
Yes.
So maybe Trishana could climb the back of the orphanage, because is that a window on the back floor of the second floor?
There are windows on the front and the back, but no windows on the side.
So Trishana could maybe climb up and use her burglar's kit rope, which is 50 feet of rope,
Mhm.
and then
But remember, this is broad daylight,
uh,
so you have to roll a pretty good stealth if you want to climb up the building. So roll that stealth. Well, Kyung, what do you want to do?
I mean, everyone went with the new plan, so I don't really have anything to do.
What do you mean? That's the backup plan. So in case you fail to persuade them, they do that plan. Does that make sense?
Yeah. She's gonna go knock at the door then.
Okay. Let me just put her down. There you go. You're the book. As you knock.
D20 plus my stealth, correct?
Yep.
I got a 21.
Trish
Are you
climbs.
supposed to be rolling out on Discord?
We're still rolling it on
I
Discord.
I did roll it on Discord.
Yeah.
I rolled it in combat and skill track.
Yeah. So, as you knock on the door, you hear y'all, both Thorin and Vasim, who are still looking through the windows, see as the nun that seems to be talking to most of them, at the very head, walks out of there, while the rest of them are just sitting there, kind of murmuring to themselves, and you hear, with simple steps, a young-looking nun comes in, completely covered where you can only see her face. She's a human with blue eyes and a seemingly gentle face. As she says, "Oh, well, hello there. What are you doing this fine day, young madam?"
Well, I don't suppose if you saw, but yesterday when it was snowing, I had a small festival with some of the people, and I thought I'd take the children here out to have some fun.
As she looks upon you, she goes, "The Winter Piper. I heard some things about you. So you wish to have some fun with the children?"
Yes, I wish to take them out to have some snowball fights, maybe have a few treats, have a day as normal children.
You watch as she kind of looks around the whole entire area, right? Sees that there's only a few carts going by and says, as long as you keep them in the front.
Well, I was hoping to take them down to the tavern to have a snack on me, but I promise, Faye's honor, that I will keep them safe.
Roll a persuasion check. With, yep.
Okay, let's see.
Are you rolling it in combat skill checks?
No, my thing just closed accidentally, so I'm reopening it so I can check my modifier.
Got it. Ugh.
Wait, can I say something that might give me advantage?
Well, here's the thing. I was going to give you an advantage, but you did say Faye's honor.
But can I say something that could maybe fix that to give me advantage?
Let's see what you say.
If me being a Fae does make you feel a little hesitant, you should know that Faes can never go back on deals. And I will make a deal with you that I will take the children out and have a fun day and no harm will come to them on my behalf.
You watch as she pulls out her hand and says, they must come back.
They will come back to their home, yes.
She shakes on it, and you get advantage.
Oh, you're smart.
You're welcome. I will take that 20, please.
You watch as you watch and hear her yell, kids, come out! As you watch as a set of 10 kids come out and kind of line. You take a step back as she is now standing in front of them. The whole line, as they each look, they look a bit skinny, but otherwise they seem fine, wearing regular peasant clothes and whatnot. As she lines them into a row with discipline and says, "You will go with her, and she will give you a good day," she says with certain vernacular in her voice and says, "I expect you here," and she turns to you, Count, and says, "I expect them back before too much time has passed."
Of course.
She nods and she goes back inside as all the children follow you. Where do you take them?
Trish. Oh,
She starts to head down towards the tavern and she'll take kind of a turn once they're out of a decent sight from the nunnery and head towards the library.
You do so, and you take them to the back of the library where you see two guards just silently talking to themselves as they turn and look and see you with the 10 children. They immediately open the door and two more come out and says, "You better hurry. We don't want them getting too cold now."
Come on, children. We're going to take you to your home.
The children look with confusion as one of them comes up to you, a small little human boy, saying, "Okay, miss." As they each follow him inside as he's the first one to go in. They each go in, and you watch as the guards walk in. What do you do next?
She's going to put the symbol on the wall like she agreed.
On the front of the library, right?
Yes. She's going to put it exactly where he told her to.
With prestidigitation, you can make a symbol as big as possible. As long as there's a surface to have it.
She will do that as big as possible then.
Mm-hmm. As that happens, you hear a horn blow. As you see a whole cavalcade of guards come running out, as Vasim and Thorn watch, along with Trish, as about 21 guards are surround the entire library. As you see Sergeant William Fern come out to the front, a bunch of people are standing with confusion away a bit as he yells, "Alleyway men, each of you must hand yourselves over peacefully. You will answer for your crimes with the final salute of death. Face it with honor on the galleys, or try to fight it out now." As you see that, you watch as they each kind of walk out. The woman's dressed up as nuns. As you see, the one that gave you the children, the young one, says, "Please, this has to be some sort of mistake. These children are ours." She's going to roll for deception with disadvantage.
Can Trish
Also, I heard the moment Vasim realized what I'd said.
Natural 1.
Oh no.
Could Trish step up and show
What can I
the
roll?
actual letter to Sergeant Fern?
You're on the top, so you'll have to climb down your 50 feet of rope, which would take a second. But let's see. She rolled a natural 1 in deception, so you want to see what happens first?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. You watch with one punch to the face, the nun goes down.
Nice.
As the rest of the guards start putting manacles on the rest, except for the one that's knocked down onto the ground, where she is simply hog-tied and taken to a big old wagon, where each of them go in, and as a small second of guards follow the wagon, you see the sergeant and 4 guards come towards you, and the other left behind start going back to their respective barracks to prepare for their patrols again in the snow. As he walks towards you, towards the library, Thorn and Vasim, would you like to meet up with Kyon along with Trish?
Yep.
Yes.
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 As he finally meets up, y'all make your way towards Kyon, standing beside her. As the sergeant looks to each of you and says, "Thank you, but we're going to search and comb the place for any evidence to show what your claims are true. I believe you.
Understandable.
I believe you, but if you have any sort of evidence or that would truly damn them to their sentence, I would like for you to hand it over."
Rashana smirks and struts forward, pulling out the non-forged letter. "I think this will show all the proof that you need."
You watch as he grabs it and starts reading. As he reads, his eyes go wide and he says, "This is as much as I need." He folds it up and puts it back with himself and says, "I, like many of my men, thank you. I've already put..."
Could you
Yes?
Could you please tell the children that I promise I'll come see them every week that I'm able and have some fun.
We're going to get them set up by tonight. So tomorrow, would that be your first day with them?
Yes, but I promise every week that I'm able. If I'm unable to, I apologize in advance.
Mm-hmm. And if you're working for Von Curian, I recommend going to him now. Before he finishes the sentence, you hear the clopping of fast footfalls as you see Bucket the coachman riding the mobilette towards y'all, and with a sudden stop, throwing snow everywhere at you guys.
Hi, Bucket!
Krishana brushes herself off. He's lucky he's cute.
He gives you a wide smile as the guards are currently shaking themselves off as he says, I'm gonna get him settled down in the... he tries to get the snow out of his hair. It says, here's the way towards it, as he hands you a little map where the orphanage is circled.
Sergeant Fran?
Yes?
She hands him a gold piece. Will you buy them a treat on the way? I promised I'd get them one. This way it's still on me.
He takes it and kind of holds it in the sun and takes a bite and says, genuine gold, huh? When they're at the orphanage, I'll buy them each a little treat from a nearby bakery. I know some people.
Thank you.
He puts it in.
Trishana. Oh, sorry.
What does Trishana say?
Trishana gasps and moves forward. I would like to make them dinner.
What?
As to welcome them to their new home. May I do this at the orphanage? Cups her hand, or not cups her hands, locks her hands together and looks at him with a begging look. Please.
Keon, what do you say to this?
She just...
He's confused.
No, she just goes very, very quiet.
As he sees this, he's like, well, let them get settled in for tonight. So tomorrow we can see, you can come over with Keon and maybe cook them a nice little dinner. I hope your skills are adequate. As he gives you a nice little bow. The guard,
Trishana bows as well. Thank you, sir.
he gives some pause as he says, now, where was I? As he goes to the back of the library. What do you each do?
Trish would like to go gather, go to a place where she go gather food.
Would you like to do that before or after you visit Von Carion?
I guess that we can do that after. I'm not gonna need to sign up for the college, so we could do that after.
Okay. Keon, would you like to go visit Carion?
Sure.
Okay. You eat. Keon gets into the mobile lab and tells Bucket to go towards the inner circle. Or the inner layer. With a fast little whip, it goes towards. And as you each notice, the place seems a lot cleaner as you see Solve, the warforged that is slowly building himself up, look to each of you and says, it's easy to hear what you've done for the town already. I have good ears, although not good legs, so I would like to give my gratitude towards helping those in need. But just as a reminder that there are other things in the world. I believe that there, not only the people of this town, but even to Almany itself, the crown jewel of this great county of Nora. And, well, have some troubles ahead. These tasks you've been doing are helping them out, and I give you one of my major thanks. But I will keep my ear to the ground, and when I'm fully fixed, I will give you the information I have on how to prevent these disasters from happening. What do you each say?
Cool.
Trishana
Yep.
nods and looks around. By chance, is your paladin here?
I don't believe so.
She sighs a bit. Do you know where I could find him?
What do you mean by the paladin out of the game?
The one who, I just messaged you about. That was the
Oh,
paladin.
that's the
who did that.
he's in a different place.
Oh,
he was
I
never
thought
there.
Okay, I thought that he was in this area.
No.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
Mm-hmm. You watch as the whole entire thing goes. You watch as you guys finally make it to the mobile lab, and the mobile lab finally makes it to the gate. Still no one there, and guards, a little bit cold, standing out as they notice you and give a nod as they open the door towards the wall. Who leads? Or who wishes to lead, in fact?
Trishana
Me.
wishes to lead. Oh. Vasim can. You know what? Vasim can do it because I've did a lot.
Vasim, the imposing dragonborn, leads the way up as go past Lieutenant Forrest Grant's office where there's no paladin there. And you go up towards the top where you see a paladin guarding the door. He opens and you see Von Carrion and Forrest there. As you go in, they both look upon you, as they were both looking out at the snow field in a previous conversation. Von Carrion looks and says, Speak of the devils, look at them. So, what goes on with your, tasks? Have the honey rats and all of them been vanquished? I did see some movement around the orphanage. Maybe was that your dory? He's looking directly at both Kyon and Trish.
Trish nods. You could say that it was, yes.
Mm-hmm. Lieutenant Forrest Grant has five bags around his belt pouch and kind of like takes them out and starts handing them to each of you and says, "This is for your troubles." You each look, and you each gain 500 silver pieces. But Trish, when he hands you your bag, he says in Thieves' Cant, "Be sure to wash yours."
What?
He says in Thieves' Cant, "Be sure to wash yours."
Be sure to wash.
Mm-hmm.
Money laundering?
No. You guys don't hear that. Only she hears that.
Oh, no, that was like out of character.
Yeah.
Trishana looks at him a bit confused. Wash it.
He doesn't notice as he goes back to Von Carrion and takes his side and says, "Now, Von Carrion, I believe you have some news to give him." He nods and says, Von Carrion looks and says, "You see, with these tasks done, you've gained the trust of us. And we can let you into the inner layer, but you," as he looks at Kyon, he's waiting for a response.
She's just stood in the back very, very quiet.
I believe you wish to go into the college, I presume.
She'll just nod once.
Before you can get into the college, you need a recommendation from an outstanding noble. Luckily for you, we have found one who seems to came to us in our search. He wishes for each of you to meet him at his manor, and for a simple trade. Though he says he has made a previous trade with each of you before. I did not pry, but just tell me how it is at Moonshade Manor. What do you each say?
Made a previous deal with each of us before.
Mm-hmm.
Trish just nods.
Seems kind of just trying to work that out in his brain, but he's kind of dumb, so it's not working. Mostly because I'm dumb and can't remember anything of the sort.
It's in the middle layer, right? Almost a block left away from the gates. It's a very nice place, although I don't see why he has positioned himself so close to the outer layer.
Are you telling me Roderick could have given me that recommendation this whole time and didn't?
No, it's not Roderick. Roderick doesn't live in a manor. And even though he does have a noble-sounding name, he's a merchant, Moses. So, he bids you each farewell as you are led out by the paladin. You each are led back outside to your mobile lab. Do you wish to go to Moonshade?
What else?
Moonshade again?
The manor that he told you that the nobleman has a trade for you.
Yeah.
Are y'all okay with this?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You watch as you are led to the manor. It seems to be nice, actually. Very beautiful place. Though, you do find that it is a bit of a hassle to get there, through winding roads and iridescent alleyways. As you finally get in front, and you see that there is a giant iron gate, pristine and painted white, blending with the bottom blending in with the snow. You see in front there is a man waiting there, an elderly human, a butler it seems, wearing nice clothing. As he opens the door and as he asks, "May I ask who wishes to visit?"
Trish raises her hand. I would.
And he kind of like, his eyes kind of study you for a second and then studies the party and says, "Were you the ones working for Von Carrion?"
No, that would be her. Trishana points at Keone. I just want to go in and get out of this damned cold.
He looks at you, Keone.
Keone is just scoring a sour look on her face.
He takes a nod and says, "You may enter now." As he points towards with the snow cleaned off, a long little patch of a cobblestone path that leads up to the entrance of this manor. As you go through and enter, you see a nice, well-decorated foyer with another slightly younger one. Seemingly to be a maid, long hair and a ponytail and all that, chasing a little red tiefling boy. As she's yelling, "Where are you going, young master?" Do you recognize him?
Young tiefling boy. Young
Shauna
tiefling.
gasps.
The boy you ward orphaned.
Yeah.
The only young tiefling boy I can think of is Big Red Kid.
Yep.
Yeah. That you all orphaned.
As he runs around holding one of his toys, what do you say?
Oh.
What do you say?
Hello, little one, as she comes over and gives him a little pat on the head. How are you doing?
You watch as, before you can try and get the pat out, he hides behind the maid, seeing a new person, before noticing that it's you, the one that gave the ghost. Like, "Hello, gold lady."
She kneels down to get to eye level with him. And how are you doing?
"I'm doing good, Mister. The Mister has been taking care of me." As he points up, as you see Mr. Growlin, wearing his showman's outfit and his red top hat, looking down and saying, I hope this isn't too much of an inconvenience on your part. I just needed to talk."
Wait, is this the guy that ran the fighting ring?
"Yep.
Oh.
Come to my office. I need to say some things to you." As you watch as he turns around and opens two giant wooden doors, around 9 feet tall. You watch as the maid does a little curtsy and says, "Follow me up the stairs." You see there's two staircases that bend around up to the second level. You follow her up as she struggles to hold open the giant wooden door and says, "Here you go, honored guest."
Thank you. Trish would like to hand her a silver piece.
You watch as she clasps your hand close and says, "There's no need."
Trish nods. All right then.
Do you each follow her?
Yes.
You each follow inside as you see him with a big old smile sitting on a big old chair on a seemingly oversized desk, but it seems in proportion to him as he says, "Welcome to my office." You see, I bet you weren't expecting to see me, did you?
Shrugs. The world works in mysterious ways.
Not if you know how to use it. You see, I have a bit of a problem, you see. A problem that will affect each of you, I'm pretty sure. You see, I'm a baron here. That means I'm a nobleman self-made. Made through wealth. The most beautiful thing in the world. I managed to get this manor, get my title, and get everything through that. And I've been using that to great effect to make sure people here are a little bit better kept care of. But I have a problem. You see, an enemy noble, old ghastly little fellow, he wishes to limit the amount of, and I quote, untrustworthy and monstrous races here. I disagree, since he considers almost anything that is above the human baseline, well, undivine, as he calls it. I wish for
So
you...
he's a racist.
Yep. I wish for you to take care of him. Mostly because I feel like you have a stake in this matter. Because if you're not allowed in the city, then what will you do? Then how will you go to the college?
I'm not murdering anyone.
It's not murder. It's scaring. You see, I wish for you...
Trish.
You don't need to scare people to get what you want.
He looks at you with eyes and says, listen, what I'm doing here is for the sake of the city. All I need you to do is, well, he puts on a little black vial and says, the little glutton always eats everywhere. And I would like for you to slip a little bit of this into his drink. Once you do, he won't be able to make any changes to legislation for a week. Once the week passes and the Harvest Festival is over, he won't be able to do much until next year. The reason I want this is because his son is a lot more forgiving when it comes to these ordeals. He wishes for... well, he just doesn't really care. He wants to live the life of a carefree nobleman, and so won't even make a move. I wish for you just to put him on a little rest for the little time the Harvest Festival is here, so I can deal with everything here. Does that make sense?
Out of character, what kind of legislation are we trying to prevent? I kind of zoned out.
Legislation that would stop, let's say, Dragonborn or maybe Drow to come into the city because they're considered untrustworthy races due to the history of Forlorn.
So we're trying to stop that from happening.
Yes.
Isn't that a good thing? That
Yes,
seems like a bad thing.
considering that you'll be kicked out of the city if it passes.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. I heard something about racism.
Yeah, the guy that you're trying to stop is racist.
Oh, for whatever reason, my brain, I only heard, I kind of zoned out. I only heard bits and for whatever reason, I thought this guy we're talking to right now is racist or something.
That's what I was thinking. That's why and then I was just like, oh, so we were stopping the racist.
Yes, there you go. So anyways.
Yeah, because I was literally about to, stick to my character.
What do you say?
Trish,
Oh yeah, let's do some government espionage. Whatever.
Trish,
Political espionage.
sits there and admires her nails. I'm all for stopping a racist, but where's the money? She moves her index finger and her middle finger together. Are we going to be paid for this?
Oh, you'll be paid
Yoni
handsomely.
just looks disgusted.
You'll be paid handsomely for this, and you'll get my approval for the college. You see, he gives another smile. A very generous man due to their open nature. They have many peculiarities that I provide them, mostly in material, but sometimes in money. And with a simple signature, you'll be accepted, no questions asked. Especially right now during the Harvest Festival, where the only people who are working are the highest ones. The Archmage himself and his close little cabinet of allies. With my little signature, it instantly goes to them, they approve it without even looking at it, and you get your position. He pulls out a fat little cigar and starts. The smell of surprisingly berries fills the air as he says, "Wouldn't that be wonderful?" What do you say?
Is this for all of us or Keone?
All of us.
Trishana looks at the others. I mean, I'm for it. And this will get Keone a spot, so what about you guys?
I mean, there's two good things about this. One, political espionage sounds cool, and two, we get to stop racist stuff. So, win-win.
Trish looks at Graylin. I guess we're in then. At
Well,
least I and Vasim are.
He takes a look at Keone, and wishes to do an insight check.
Yes.
Hold on, let me check his stats again. Can you please? What does he see as just you? Nothing deeper. Just what you wear on your face, Keone.
I'll message you it.
Got it.
I mean, she's got eyes, a nose, a mouth.
Dear Lord. Very well then. He looks at all of you and says, "You could find Mr. Iso. He's a little halfling man. He can be found at three major spots: Elmwood's Gourmet, the Silver High Theater, or the Red Grass Manor, his home. I'd recommend checking those. The closest one right now is the theater. Right now they're having a little play of the founding of Forlorn. Ta-ta now," as he takes another big huff, as the maid slowly opens the door again.
So where are we going?
You can go to either one of three places: Elmwood's Gourmet, Silver High Theater, or Redgrass Manor.
Could you send me these,
Mhm.
please? Because I don't know how to spell any of that and I'll forget it.
Got it?
And what are we doing there again?
You have to
We're
poison
look-
him because he's
Okay.
as described by Grillen, a glutton. There we go. Now, if you watch as the maid still's holding open the door. Do you each go in?
Yes.
You each leave the manor and go back into the mobile lab, with the gate closed behind you and the butler and maid going back inside after leading you off. Is there anything you each want to do now? Or do you wish to go into
Trish would like to ask, do you have a bathroom nearby where I could wash my face?
You see as one of the butlers stops as he's walking, and he says, "Not at the moment. We're trying to clean that out at the moment. Though, if you want to, there is a village pump. Though I hope it doesn't freeze over."
Trish nods, that's fine.
He points over, and you see that in the little courtyard base, a little over 2 houses down, is a nice little iron pump with a bucket underneath.
Trish would like to go over there and pull out the coins that she received from Lieutenant, or not from Lieutenant, from the...
Lieutenant, yeah.
Yeah, it was from the Lieutenant Forrest.
Yep.
As she retrieved from Lieutenant Forrest, and she thinks to herself, why did he say wash the coins? As she puts them underneath the water and begins pumping it out to her best of her ability.
As the freezing cold water pumps out, you watch as silver coloring dyes the water as you pull out the coins and they shine gold.
What?
So how much? That's 500 gold?
Yep.
Sheesh.
Sheesh! Oh! Trish does a little bit of a happy dance and kind of like snaps her fingers and then stuffs it back into her coin pouch.
Yep. So now...
Hey, but aren't silver and gold pieces shaped differently?
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
In the example I've sent, yes, but right now, in the world, they are basically different types of coins. Like you'd find in like for example, in the Roman Republic, where you'd find that they're different emblems and different mades of materials.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So you go back to the mobile lab?
Yes.
So now, as you go back to the mobile lab with your odd-shaped gold pieces, where would you each like to go first? The gourmets, the theater, or try to go to his home?
I say we go to... We have to drink wine at Silver High?
No, he drinks wine.
Oh, he drinks... I say we go to Silver High first, because a man always likes his drink. But they can just,
Does anyone oppose?
No.
Got it. With one word to the coachman, Bucket hurries off towards the Silver High Theater, a very prim and proper theater in the middle layer, where you'll see many rich merchants, barons, and even sometimes noblemen, depending on the play, come there. This one seems a little bit more emptied out, as you see that it's playing an old play, but a classic. The Death of Kelth Otherin. As you go in, you see that there are a few people already there, as you see a little sign where you see where the usual booth is to pay for entrance, where it says, "Due to snow, the play has been cancelled. Please do not enter through." Who has the highest perception?
Let me look at mine. My perception is performance, persuasion.
16.
What's perception again?
Passive perception.
I don't know what that is. Perception. I only have a 2.
Okay.
So,
Kyon, you see 2 sets of wet footprints from the snow that walk past this sign and go into the play area where the seats are, up the staircase where the usually noblemen and barons are. You also hear some sort of conversation happening. Would you like to roll to hear any more?
She's gonna take a few quiet steps closer and listen, yes.
Roll a perception check.
Doesn't matter. It's gonna be at least over 16, right?
No.
Oh.
Passive perception is 10 plus what your perception is, so... For example, your passive perception, Trish, is 12. Kyon's passive perception is 16, because she has a +6 to perception. So tell me what you
Wait,
rolled.
I'm
15.
15. The same murmuring as before. You'll probably need to go upstairs to listen.
She's gonna quietly do so.
Would the group like to go with him?
We'd have to roll for strips.
The
Stealth then.
group stealth, yes.
No, I think I'd rather stay
Hadn't
behind.
told anyone.
Kyon, roll stealth. Let's see what this will be. With as soft as steps as you can take, you walk up the carpeted steps up to where you hear the murmuring. You know those in theaters where it's like those little seats that are above the rest?
Uh-huh.
You hear from the farthest one a simple conversation as you get closer. You hear this. "Now, I tell you, the whole bust of the operation was an outside force. I'll figure out a way to get you more of your parts. Just, you hear a giant sip of wine as he says, just allow me some more time. After I pass this legislation, you'll get the best breed of parts." As you don't hear anything except fervid, listening. As you go look into the box where you see like the little crosshatch pattern.
Mm-hmm.
You see through it as a halfling is currently listening. As you see his ears have some sort of haze around him as you think it's some sort of spell. You can roll an Arcana check to see what type of spell it is.
Uh-huh.
It seems to be some sort of message spell carried out at a long distance. As he says, No, you don't need to sick that beast upon me. I just need I just need a few more time. You watch as he takes another big sip as he says, You see, I'm getting some pushback, surprisingly enough, from the lesser. They wish to prolong their stay here. Once I get out, you will get as much as you need. As he sets down the wine glass and starts looking towards the play area with his back turned to the table. You see, he's a small halfling man, around 4 feet tall. He seems to have his face sagged out. His hair is very short, almost shaven completely off, and he's wearing a black suit and black pants. As he still in fervent conversation. Who took the poison?
I think I did.
No one really said.
I'll take it since I'm the one.
Are you
who's
sure?
Rogue.
Since
My
Keon's already up there?
I mean, I could have Trish go up to check on Keon.
But still,
sure everything's okay.
You have to roll for it.
Okay.
So roll for stealth. Yeah.
And then I do +5 on stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do a lucky roll?
Yep.
Keone was actually gonna do something.
Well, what does Keon want to do while she rolls?
Well,
She,
you know what? I'll just cancel out. and let
Trish,
Keone do.
don't interrupt.
I'm sorry.
It's alright, I know. Keon?
she is gonna tuck her ears into her hair and tie it up into a bun.
Mhm.
And she's going to kind of make herself look poor-ish. Like she's gonna pull a cloak out of her bag and just wrap it around herself. And she'll pull out the pastries that she saved from the winter day. And she'll pretend like she just walked in and is having a bit of a little coughing thing from the cold.
You could choose either deception or performance.
Let's see what I've got.
Interest rolling up on the roll. It's when.
Oh, they're the same roll anyway.
Yeah, so you can choose.
Performance.
As he hears the door open, he looks over. The fog kind of immediately disappears. And he says, "What are you doing here?"
I'm so sorry, sir. I've been trying to get out of the cold. You see, my family, we went out of business, and I've been trying to sell these pastries. You see, these horrible monster folk ran my father out of town, and she just starts to break down into tears.
You watch as the halfling looks with surprise at. What did you roll, Trish, for the stealth?
I didn't.
You have to. I thought you were going to do a
Sorry.
luck roll.
Yeah.
As you watch as he comes up and just puts his small hand on your back and says, "Don't worry, I'll get them out of here soon enough. Just I have to do something. What are those sweets you have?
They're just sweet rolls.
I can buy one off you if need be." And Trish, you silently walk up and you hear Keon and this man talking.
She sniffles and goes, "Would you be willing to make a deal? My father would be so happy if I could sell more than one."
What's this deal?
Well, you promised that you'll make things better for us, for people like me.
Of course, my dear. That is what I'm trying to do. As he takes out a small little hand and puts it upon yours, grasping it with both, barely even taking over up half.
Then will you make a deal with me that if you never do anything to harm people like me, like any of us, that I'll give you a sweet roll every day until the day you die.
Of course.
She smiles at him as the deal is struck.
As this happens, you watch as a bit of glow comes out of his hands as he goes, "What the?"
So how do you like your sweet rolls?
Wait, what are you?
Well, I'm what you consider monster kind. Thank you for agreeing never to hurt anyone like me, though.
You bastard! As you watch as
bad word.
you watch as he grabs his wine bottle and tries to hit you with it. As
Bad idea.
Sorry.
And as he does, you watch as first his hand, then his arm, then his shoulder completely freeze over until his whole entire body is as if a frozen man.
She just places a sweet roll in his hand and pats it a couple of times, like she just gave him a treat for being a good boy.
He is now frozen over. And as you give him the sweet hand, it is start to melt, but you'd give it about a good 2 hours.
Is anyone else there?
As you walk out, you do see Trish. And that's about it. The
Yeah.
whole entire theater seems empty.
Tierney
Except
just walks out with the most smug look on her face and goes, "Dealt with the problem. Let's go."
wait,
Trish follows behind.
I need a-
Follows after. Oh, sorry.
I need a roll. Now you guys can do some roleplay while I need to look up something.
Trish follows after. Very clever. Good one.
I told you, not everything needs to be solved with murder.
I wasn't going to murder him. I was only going to put a little bit in there just to knock him out for the next couple weeks.
You were gonna poison him for money.
Shrugs. I mean, gotta do what you gotta do.
No, you don't.
He wasn't.
And then she looks at her. Anyway, with the money that I was given, I was going to put it towards in the orphanage.
You hear a thud.
Oh dear.
Trish looks over.
You
Did you hear
you
that?
both look over towards the stage as you see what seems to be a cloaked figure wearing a white mask of sorts. Another one, seemingly of same height, both of them around 5 foot, are there. And you don't see another. You only see them two on the stage as they kind of look towards you, and one of them lets out a hand, seeming light, very dark skinned. Reminds you of a drow or a deep gnome, as they kind of beckon you. Both of you.
Trish looks at it suspiciously.
Tierney's
Did you-
already started walking down.
Trish yells at, "You think I'm going to follow your spooky ass?"
Language!
You hear a laughter as you see another one appear. You see two of the cloaked figures. One of them's wearing a white mask, and the other one wearing a black mask.
Trish just throws her hands up. Fuck this, and starts following after Keone.
Before and
No,
at,
Keone started walking towards the people.
Oh, well, Trish just says "fuck this" and starts walking away.
as you begin to walk away, you suddenly remember and look back, and you see the shadow hand symbol upon their masks. One's white and one's black.
Trish, her eyes widen, and then she mumbles to herself, "Damn it," and then turns around and begins walking towards them.
As you walk towards them, both of you, it takes a second for Trish to get back with you. As halfway there, you already make it to the stage. And as you do, you hear shifting underneath the maskless one. Bones start to break and reform. Its form starts to grow by about 3 feet to a total of 8 feet tall, over 8 feet tall. Its skin from dark to a pale shade of blue. Its eyes glowing red, and 2 ivory horns start sprouting up from its head. As you remember the rhyme that Lillian sang to you.
Did you re-say that? You broke up on my end.
Did I break up with that on anyone else's end?
Nope.
Nope. Actually, no.
You hear... Okay, let me reiterate for Trish. You hear its bones shift and break and its form
Oh, I
grow.
heard that part. I talking about the last part that you said.
You suddenly remember the children's rhyme Lillian sang. Only of last night.
Hell yeah, do we get to fight an Oni?
I don't think this will be a fair fight if you try.
Yeah, you two aren't there.
You guys are at the front, remember?
Alright.
So these are part of the Shadow Hands, aren't they?
You can assume so.
Okay.
What's the shadow hand?
Nothing to worry about.
As you see this, you see his crooked smile. Let me post a picture of what he looks like. I'll put this in general. As you see him standing with a crooked smile, the other two seemingly unfazed, watching both of you get closer.
General?
Yeah, the general chat. As they say, well, ain't this a surprise? Before we even get a chance, you two come along. Impressive display of trickery.
Keone just does a curtsy. It's what I'm known for.
Trish, you finally catch up. He looks at you with a wider smile and says, and I see the recruit has finally proven her worth.
To me? He says that to me?
Yep.
Trish looks at Keone. She's not my recruit.
No, she tells you that.
Oh, she tells me that.
Yeah.
I thought that it was saying Keone was my recruit.
It's alright. What do you say to that?
I'm confused.
He looks to you and says, and the recruit finally proves her worth.
So who's the recruit? Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, I thought okay, I was so confused for a second. I thought for a second Keone was part of the Shadow Hands.
No. It's alright. Anyways, what do you say to that?
Trish snickers. I gotta give credit where credit's due. This was all really her idea.
Well,
I had another idea. I was gonna knock the bastard out. But she just did her whole little performance.
Little performance?
Yeah, you have to give her more credit, young little one. You see, in our line of work, the gift of gab is sometimes stronger than the gift of the sword. Though, I guess you wouldn't have learned that if you weren't taught by me. Though
Trish looks away. Not looks, like moves her eyes to, look a bit ashamed.
But you are one step closer for fulfilling your wish.
Trish just nods. Mm-hmm.
It'll be fun. But now, I'd like to talk to you, little rabbit.
You may call me Keone.
Keone, then. You may call me Red Eye. These two beside me are my, students, you can call them.
Uh-huh.
Trish just says, I call it Tweedledee Tweedledum.
The white mask looks at you with you can feel some sort of air given off, but you can't really tell. You may make an insight check.
Hey. That's a D20 plus my insight?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As he ignores that comment and says, I am what you can call an assassin, along with these two.
Uh-huh.
You see,
And Trish works for you.
Trish works in the same organization.
As assassins.
Assassins, espionage, spycraft. There's many ways our shadows linger.
I see.
The reason I'm telling you this rather than just leaving you alone is because I see potential. You just completed a job without killing anyone, and that can be more useful than any other trait, I believe. And natural one, you can't read shit. I'm just kidding. You can't really get a read due to the mask. But otherwise, she seems you just can't get this weird air out of your system. Trish.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Natural one. You can't really read the white mask, but the air is very strange, you have to add. He continues on. I would like to keep in contact with you. The fool Graylin will continue his business. And now that the thugs in this town have been dealt with, we should have an easier time getting a foothold in and cleaning this place out before the storm arrives.
So you want to keep in contact with me because I can do something without killing people?
That is what I said.
I just do what is normal. It's not normal to kill people.
You know? And is it normal for a person of our cut to be like that?
How would I know?
Exactly. Now, me and my friends here are gonna prepare for the Harvest Festival. I believe you should return to Graylin and give him the wonderful news. He will give you everything you desire and more. Just be sure to accept it with a smile. You watch as he suddenly turns as if into gas, and the other two, using this opportunity, disappear. The gas flows throughout as if like a billowing smoke, out of there and into the air. Vasim and Thorn, you're confused by this.
I thought they were still outside.
No, they were in like the entrance part.
Oh, okay.
And so what do you two do?
Keone just silently starts walking back to the others.
Trishana just crosses her arms and walks as well.
Vasim and Thorn,
I'm just walking out.
you each walk out now as you see the coachman, Bucket, looking a bit confused, looking up in the air, trying to follow where the gas went, and goes, ugh. Ugh. Looks to you guys and goes, Bucket?
Sure.
As you enter in the mobile lab, you see, for the longest time, Ruby. Standing in her bucket, kind of staring at both at y'all, as she looks at each of you. Her big old eyes, still in that cute phase of the infancy. As the Warforged looks on and says, I tried my best to keep her asleep.
That's okay. She's cute.
Yeah, she's curious, that's what she is. I'm trying to teach her the basics of the language, and she's learning as well as a baby can. As Bucket...
That's nothing wrong with curiosity.
Too much of it, though. As you hear Bucket whips around and goes back towards Moonshade Manor as you each continue talking. I'm just trying to teach her the basics. She is a lizard folk, after all. She should be fully adult.
Well, she'll be fully safe now here from now on, hopefully.
Not from the cold, though. I've been trying to keep her as wrapped up as much as I can, but still.
Keone just opens her arms to it and goes, come on, I'm warm.
You watch as it does grabby hands. As you grab it and lift it up as it kind of snuggles into you, reveling in the heat of the cloak. Wearing what seems to be a makeshift diaper out of pieces of leather. As he goes, "Ah!"
Warm Keone is warm.
Ugh. You hear Bucket from the stagecoach as another flurry of snow hits a bunch of children as they giggle and laugh as Ruby hears this, she copies it and goes,
Keone just kind of taps her on the nose and goes, "Snow day."
You hear the chains as Sol, the Warforged, lifts himself up and goes towards you and says, "Well, you continue this deal, I shall take her back." Hands wrapped in a blanket so the baby doesn't feel his cold metallic hands as he wraps it up and puts it back in the bucket. "We'll be waiting for you out here."
Okay.
The butler immediately runs out and opens up the gate. It's like, "You are here rather early, less than an hour."
Mm-hmm.
He holds open the white gates as you each enter through the manor and see Jamie painting on the walls a little red stick figure and a smaller one holding its hand.
Who's that?
Oh!
Mr. Grail. You watch as the little boy looks up to you and says, "Mr. Grayland says that my dad went on a business trip. He says he has to do some fighting up in the sky."
Mom?
Disturbed, I'm going to strangle you. You ruined the
Mom,
mood.
what's wrong? Is Jack okay?
What? Wait, out of the game. Who?
Her dog.
Oh.
Oh no.
Is everything okay?
Is he okay? Do we take him to the vet tomorrow?
Oh. What happened?
My dog, my mom's just come down crying. He's got really bad diarrhea.
Oh.
And she's just really scared because it's the dog that we had a scare of having to put him down.
It might
I'm
be.
sorry, but
I hope it's just worms or something like that instead of something serious.
Well, they think he's got either pancreatitis or dog cancer.
Oh no. I hope it's not that.
I hope it's neither.
We can't check because he's too old to go through that.
I'm sorry. Do you think we need to leave off here, or?
No, it's okay. I can keep going. If something happens, I'll say.
Okay then. The maid leads you to Grayland's office, giving Jamie a little look, painting on the nice pristine walls. As now, the office opens up and him still in there, smoking the same cigar, looks back and says, "You're here early. Has he been taken care of?"
Yes, in a way. You
For
won't
sure.
ever have to worry about him harming any quote-unquote monster folk again.
You watch as his eyes.
Might not have to worry about him for about 2 hours as well.
You watch as he takes a deep breath and says, "That's good enough." As he puts over 3 things. A small little chest full of 1,000 gold pieces, a letter of introduction to the college, and a third one. It seems to be a deed to something.
A deed?
Indeed.
He looks to you and says, "You'll need to name it, but it's yours."
Keone just looks at it with wide eyes, and she just kind of hugs the deed to her chest.
As you hug it, he says, I I hired the best new butler and maid in town, a master and apprentice of sorts, both surprisingly young for their craft. A tiefling and a Goliath, a rare sort here. They'll be waiting for you, and they should give you preparations for everything.
Would you, like the poison bag?
You didn't use it?
No?
You may keep it.
Trish would like to keep it.
You have the potion of long rest.
Thank you.
And put as the description, makes someone sleep for a week if they fail a DC 20 check.
Can you?
I'm sorry, I'm a little dumb. What's it need for?
A house.
House.
So it's
Which is what Keone had, like, it's on Keone's small list of things to achieve, is to get a house.
Okay.
It's
now is the 1,000 gold for all of us, or is it just for Keone?
It's for all of you
Okay, and how it was? It's put someone to sleep.
for a week.
One asleep for a week.
1, 2, 3, 4. You each gain 250 gold pieces from this adventure. And as you each split the gold, he asks, "May I ask what you'll name the manor?"
She stops for a second and she starts to think with a small smile on her face. Frozen Tear Manor.
What did she say?
Frozen
Frozen
tier.
Frozen Tear.
Frozen what?
Tier.
Yeah.
And it was 200 and what?
250 for each of you.
Okay, thank you.
Nice. Money.
You watch as he has a nice little smile. He says, "Write it down on the deed, and it's all yours."
She quickly scribbles it down.
He gives a nice smile and he says, "Have fun in that house. It's been vacant for a little while, but I did have it furnished and cleaned to the best of my abilities."
Thank you. And I hope you learn from this that not everything needs to be solved with poisoning or murder or violence.
You watch as a shiver goes across him as he says, "You're not funny. That's not the first time I heard this today."
Oh. Well, whoever else told you that was very wise.
He kind of looks as if he saw something scary. And he says, "Wise indeed."
Are you okay?
Make an insight check.
Means it sucks.
You feel as though. Oh shit. You feel. You're a little loud.
I'm very fucking dead.
You feel as though what's it called? Goliaths aren't easy to fear, but they usually fear those who are bigger than them. So maybe it's one of those things.
She looks him dead in the eye. What happened?
Let's say that a ogre made himself known to me and told me about all he knew. He knew about the hit, he knew about every little deed I've done, and he even knows about some pieces of information I'd rather not kept known.
We have a deal.
And he reminded me that mercy is a sort, because he shows me mercy every time he lays eyes upon me, as he said. I don't want to feel his wrath, so I'll be out of the public eye until my legislation goes through.
I see.
Have a grand harvest festival.
you too. And I'll be back later with some art supplies.
You watch as he leans back in his chair and closes his eyes. And you swear, you hear laughter in the distance.
I'll be back with some art supplies for, what was his name, Timmy?
Jamie.
Jamie. I'll be back with some art supplies for Jamie. He seems to like drawing.
Trish would like to take an insight check to see where the laughing came from.
Make a perception check for that.
Perception. Alright, sorry. Perception. So that's D20 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
$15.
You believe it came from, well, you think it came from his backyard of sorts, or on the wall, it seems, as you look out and see that it's a nice little garden that has been snowed over.
Trish would like to go to the back garden.
As you each leave, Trish takes a beeline around the manor towards the back as she sees no footsteps, but on the wall there are some handprints of giant hands. They climb all the way up the wall onto the ceiling. Where you
Out of character, could this be possible shadow hand doing?
it could be the Oni.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good thinking.
What do you do now?
Trish would like to take a perception check to look around.
We're using your previous run. Nothing's disturbed in the garden, but you do notice, well, the roof is slanted, so you do see big old footsteps that lead off to the side, and you swear it ends at the edge. And you think they might have jumped or something.
Trish would like to go to the side of the house to see if there's any... Wait, are these footsteps leading to the side of the house or away from the side of the
The side of the roof where
to the
where
side
it
of the
suddenly ends, and there's about a 25-foot gap between that and another roof where you do see the same thing happen again.
Trish would like to continue to investigate.
You follow the footprints as they just jump until they lead back to the theater.
Trish would like to enter the theater.
You enter the theater where you see wet footprints and the Goliath. Or no, a humanoid-looking person in a
Trish
deep
would
cloak.
Trish would like to... Is this the same person as before, or...
Talk to them and see.
Trish would like, instead of talking to them, she would like to sneak around to see their face.
Roll.
Oh shit, I put enter in by accident, sorry.
Okay. Oh shit.
$20.
They got a nat 20.
Override.
Look above your roll.
Yeah.
Nat 20 in total for 24 as you try to sneak past, the face turns to you, shifting back into the Oni's figure as he says, "Very good, but you forget I'm the best."
Trish stands up and brushes herself off. Yes, you constantly remind me of that. You are the one who taught me, so you think I would be better.
Well, I would like to remind you that running around the entire city looking at roofs does draw a bit of attention. Try to stick with the party.
Trish sighs. I wanted to talk to you anyway.
About what?
About the whole thing with Kiyomi.
Yes.
She's not going to want to join us. We're a bunch of murderers and such like that. She despises me just because I've did a couple of bad things.
You're acting like a stain doesn't ruin a dress, man. It takes a while to wash out. I'm trying to remove and move our organization to a brighter, more equitable future. If you do not like us, you can always state your opinion upon it. But until then, I want some new blood, new ideas running through this organization.
Trish sighs. As long as I get to keep an eye on her so no one else in the group decides that they want to harm her.
He walks up to you and says, "You forget how you run our tests. She will prove herself in strengths of the shadow. She will prove herself as willing and daring. I will test her ideals. I will test her as much as I want. But know this. Harm to her will not come from my hand, will not come from the masks, or will not come from the changelings I have dotted throughout this town. I have worked hard, but I am not going to sacrifice a pawn when need be." He stares at you and says, "Remember what you're working towards."
What am I working towards again? Oh, right, I'm working towards finding the man. She sighs. Do you have any information of any new hits or anything?
Right now, all I have is some rumors going around that a new deadly, drug has made its way around the town. It seems to be crystalline in nature and is used to expand the mind.
Would this drug by chance be purple?
Yep.
I think I've actually ran into someone who was selling it. Sadly, I kind of drank their blood and got a wicked high from it.
You watch as his hand goes on his face and kind of like wipes it down, changing his reflection from slight annoyance to just, an "I told you so" face, as he says, "This was a problem. You see, we have discovered that some of the college goers have been taking it, and unfortunately for them, their minds can't handle it. They turn into walking time bombs of sorts. Literally."
Trishana's face lights up and look at him. I know I may have a lead of where I found who sent me after the hit of that man, the drug dealer. I could go there and investigate, or you could send someone else from the clan.
Right now, wait for more information. I do not want you to go and interrogate someone who might know as little as you do.
Trish nods.
Now, I believe you have a man or two. Hey, take a tour of.
What'd you say? Take a tour of?
Yep.
Okay. Ha ha, such a nosy one, she says as she turns around, putting her hand up to wave as she walks out of the theater.
You don't see what he does as you leave back for the mobile lab, where you see Kyon and the others there.
Trish wipes off her dress a bit as it's wet from running in the snow. Sorry, I had some business to attend to.
You see that the others are inside as Solve looks and says, "I might ask you each for a favor. Have you ever heard of a Kored? Kyon, you know this.
Of course I have.
You know how they can sniff out rare and needed valuables.
Yes.
I might have an idea. If you can get me one and can have them bring me silver and such rare materials, I can finally finish up myself. As he looks down at his legs, and he looks up and says, and maybe improve your weapons.
I'll try my best.
Good. I have a feeling that they're in this town, though I can't really sense them. The magic in this area is, well, to say absurd is an understatement.
Well, they might be in the inner circle. And she just waves the deed a little bit.
As he looks at it, looks and stares at it, then quickly looks at Ruby and Bucket and says, "No more sleeping on the floor!" As you hear its robotic voice strangely cracking with happiness, as Bucket and Ruby are smiling. Ruby not knowing what's going on, just smiling to mimic, and Bucket smiling at the thought of sleeping in an actual bed.
She lets out a small laugh, but first, I want to go to the college.
Of course. But first, may we move this stuff into there?
Yes.
Okay. And what does Trish say?
Never mind, I forgot.
Oh, okay. You watch as with a sounding whip, Bucket the coachman flies towards the gates of the inner circle and stops right in the dead of it, where you see that the guards take one look at it and instantly open it up. The nice silver gates shimmer up as you now see the nicest part of the town, with gleaming buildings decorated in platinum, gold, and silver, beautifully articulated shops and such. You see rich nobles, human, high elf, wood elf, and even some rock gnomes walking the street. You see many small castles and manors, and the giant castle in the middle, and right above it, floating in the air, the college.
Keanu's just doing that thing where she leans out the window looking up at it with wide eyes.
You love this. It's beautiful.
She just mumbles the word home.
Yes. As Bucket slowly but surely stops the mobile app in front of a nice little manor. No gate, but a nice, beautiful little front yard, giant and open. The manor is completely white, with big old windows and a giant door frame. As you see that all the lanterns and stuff are lit well.
Keanu just looks very excited.
Do you each walk in?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
As you walk in, you see two butlers. Well, one butler, one maid. Hold on. Oh, no wonder I clicked the wrong thing on. A blue tiefling, young in nature, seemingly in his 20s. He has, well, heavily braided blue hair, a slightly strong build where you see small bounds of muscle there, and blue eyes with no pupils. and a female Goliath. You have not seen one before. She has her hair similar to his in a big old braid. This time it's gold like wheat. And they both do a bow as they say, "Welcome to your home," in unison.
Cuny just nods at them once. With a smile. Thank you. It's good to be here.
They smile as the first one, the blue tiefling, says, You can call me Jameson Cleve, and my apprentice here is Miss Et Zutand."
Those are lovely names.
You watch as he smiles but tries to keep it down, almost like he's humbling himself, while the young Goliath has a wide smile showing off her pearly white teeth.
I like that.
Would you like to take a second to look a little bit more at them?
Sure.
You notice that the tiefling has bits of frost on his skin.
Are you?
He looks at you with an eyebrow up.
Are you from where I'm from?
Depends. Is your home a place of snow with a cruel little master?
I wouldn't say he's cruel.
But I would say he's little.
Good. Little.
He gives you a little laugh as he says, "So you do know him."
I believe we have different places in mind.
He does a little laugh and he says, Maybe. I'm from Asteria. I come from Arsaman. Used to work for one of the many dwarven holds. Very strict. Learned a lot about them."
I see.
He takes another bow.
Don't worry, I'm partial to the cold myself.
No, it's okay. As you look at the other one, she seems, a little bit different. She has freckles dotting her face and shining green eyes. As she looks at you with deep happiness and says, "Hello there," with a surprisingly light voice. She stands after she finishes bowing, she stands at a towering 7'10". As she looks. Well, yes. I guess I was born that way. As she lets out a nervous giggle.
I think it looks great.
Thank you. You see, her ebony skin is kind of shimmering in the torchlight. As you do see that she has a happier sense of personality rather than the tiefling. Do you wish to know how your as he starts to look back as he sees Bucket carrying the bucket coming towards, wearing the coachman, and says, "I guess your coachman is coming with this?"
Of course.
It's okay. I shall give you a tour of the place. But before I do,
You're welcome.
may I ask what's the name?
Frozen Tear Manor.
Okay. You watch as he makes a mental note of that and says, I shall take this place and give us the official name at the bureau tomorrow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go. As he turns around along with the Goliath, and you both follow him as he gives the tour. He first shows you the foyer where it's one simple staircase that goes up, and as he says, up there is your office, guest bedrooms, and bedrooms. You want to start there, or would you rather look through the dining hall, main hall, some libraries, and well, many other things.
A library?
Yes.
Her eyes just sparkle.
Let's go there first. As he goes through one of these big open doors, as he opens it up, as you see many bookshelves lining the room. There's a big old table in the middle of it with little candles on it, and hanging from the ceiling are nice ornate lanterns that the Goliath tries her best to not hit her head against. A big old window separates two of the bookshelves, and letting soft light enter in through, as he says, "This is the library. It's been furnished with many books ranging from history to the arcane."
Jameson,
Yes.
I don't suppose it's possible to look into some higher light so our Goliath friend does not have to duck so often. It is unfair to make her do so.
See, he looks at the chains of the lantern and says, "We can straighten those tomorrow.
Thank you.
This place is a premium place to studies with some of your fellow student members. It would be a beautiful place.
Oh, yes.
Next, let's go to the main hall." As he
Can we take a quick break? My mom just texted me that she needs something with the dogs.
well, we can end it here and do the tour later, like in the next session.
Yeah, I need to go help her.
Okay. That's what we'll
Let's hope
end
he
it
don't
off
die.
with. What?
Hope he doesn't die.
I think you'd rather say hope he goes well. Thank you all for joining up on this session. I hope you each have a good day, and join us the next session.